Everyone, and thanks first of all to Luis and Jose for inviting me again and for putting so much effort in organizing this beautiful event every year. So I'm going to talk about internationalization a little bit, so presenting what Bookwire, the company that I'm running, has done over the last decade, almost 12 years now. And first of all, I thought it makes sense to take a step back, because in 2014 I was standing on this stage here presenting Bookwire services. It was the early days still of the ebook distribution economy, so there were a lot of companies uniting in this association here and trying to exchange news and ideas about the industry. And at that time our approach was very simple. It was, we get your ebooks into the shops. It was a new industry that was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and we helped to publishers to get their stuff into the world and to market their digital content. And we were 17 people at that time, but as you can see, we already took an international approach very early, because we thought that in our little tiny German country, we cannot become a very big, meaningful company to this digital industry that is totally international. So you can also see that we did an early approach to build up business in Spain and in Russia, what actually was not so successful, I have to say. Failure is a part of going international. But still, like the mindset is the same. The vision was to go global from day one. And today it looks more like that. So it's not about just ebooks anymore. It's about helping publishers to manage their digital ecosystems around digital products, from production to distribution to marketing and to finally analyzing stuff. So this is just a screenshot of the website. So the approach has become a lot bigger, not only the geographic approach, but also the approach because ebook distribution itself has become a commodity over the years, because it has become a very normal part of publishers' life. So to give you an idea about our mission, that's something that we needed to define for our customers and also for our employees internally. So the goal is really to provide publishers with the best service and a great technology. So this combination, in my opinion, is what you need to kind of survive the digital era, and not even survive, to make it really a good business for you. So today we have a lot of customers, 2,000 all around the world. The company has grown from, I showed you 17, so I founded the company in 2010 with 2 people. So we were 17 and 14, now we are 140 people in various locations, and we are managing a huge catalog of books and audiobooks, ebooks and audiobooks, and also print-on-demand products and podcasts and so on. Geographically, it looks like this. Our headquarters is still in Germany, in Frankfurt, but we have like our development team in Dortmund. That's another smaller city in Germany. We have a big team in Brazil, what is outside Europe, of course, and that is 30 people strong. And we have a team here in Spain. They are here. I'm happy to meet the team these days. And we've now started expanding also into further territories, what is kind of the topic of this slot here. We are going into the US market, what is a big challenge for European companies, and we are also expanding into France, what is also quite a slow-moving market in some regard. So that was something that we didn't do very early. Well, yes, a nice list of customers. I don't want to bother you with that, but we have managed to go from smaller customers that were our first customers that got a full service in digital distribution from us, to big customers that now use our infrastructure, including big companies like Planeta here in Spain, or German companies, or Nordics companies like Bonnier. So there's a whole lot of customers using our solution, and there is a whole lot of retail network that we are providing. I won't go into more detail here. So and what binds this together is like a technology approach, and that is the first point regarding internationalization. So if you want to internationalize your business, you have to have a scalable product. That's super important. It has to be strong. Otherwise, as a small startup and company that grows, you will never have the chance to kind of manage this complexity of going international and expanding into different countries. So this is all about audiobook, ebook, and POD. I won't go further here because we want to use the time to talk about expanding. But I think it gives you an idea of what the solution is all about. It's about helping publishers to produce, distribute, analyze, and market digital content with a big ecosystem. Imagine it as some kind of a SAP system for digital distribution that gives you like all the tools you need. So what is more exciting is talking about how we got there. So I've just listed a couple of milestones that this company has gone through, and I think this points a little bit towards our discussion here. Mm-hmm. We founded in 2010, so there's two vectors here. The upper vector is the geographic expansion. So we've gone from a strong home market in the German-speaking countries to Spain in 2014. Before that, we acquired an audiobook company, and then we went to Brazil. We also made an acquisition in Brazil, and recently in 2020, we acquired a big competitor in the German market, and in 2021, we made another acquisition in Brazil in POD. So you can see there was like a geographic approach, and at the same time, there was a product approach, because we went, and you can see this on the line below, we went from managing ebooks for publishers to managing audiobooks to managing print on demand, and then working our way more towards marketing services, analytics services within those product categories. And then podcasts became a topic, so we started doing podcast distribution. So we kind of work ourselves along the product world of today's media houses and publishing houses. And it finally ended up with an NFT marketplace that my colleague Eric will talk about later, what is a totally new business. So you can see there is a high complexity in this, and I have to say we haven't done everything right in managing this expansion. It's really exhausting to take this approach, and it's really difficult because you have these two dimensions. One is geographical, and the other one is to be the innovator and to keep expanding your services and products. And that is really, really a challenge to manage this all together. So coming to the last slide here, what does it need to go international? What may be a foundation for our discussion then? Mm-hmm. From my perspective, it needs definitely a growth mindset. So it has to be, and that is not something that politicians can provide. That is something that is in people. So you want to develop it as a team, as a leader, as a company, or you don't want it. So nobody will invite you to go international and grow your business. You have to do it. You have to want it. What it certainly needs is a strong vision. I showed you the first slide where Russia was on the chart. I made another presentation years ago where I showed like the scope of our first idea of an expansion, and the second was the reality, and the reality was much different from the first idea. So, but the vision, the overall vision was to go international, but the details have changed a lot. So that some flexibility in the details is always necessary. And of course you need like a diverse team and skills, and that's maybe an advantage being a European company, because we will talk about this. We come from like tiny countries, a fragmented Europe, so we know that it needs like different skills and team diversities to be able to adapt to a new market, what is not very easy, I have to say. And of course you need a product that can take this vision. So if you die in complexity, if you die in details, you will not going to make it to more countries, because it's just not possible if you don't keep your product scalable. And what I personally consider, and this is something that is sometimes you also have to be a bit lucky, honestly. We were a bit lucky having a very strong home market in the German markets, because this market developed in the digital space very well. So you need a strong foundation. Without a strong foundation, you cannot expand into like 10, 20 territories, because you need to have a foundation with clients that really, tell you how to and help you how to and bring your business to a solid size. Otherwise, you have like too many complexities everywhere and too many financial and product challenges, and then it's going to be very difficult. And one thing that is very difficult to me, I have to say, focus. It's very hard. You've seen the slide before, like geographic complexity, product complexity. Within this kind of salad of complexity, to stay focused, it's a big challenge. And that's what I'm practicing every year, to stay focused. And so that's to give us some keywords for the discussion. That's what I thought is helpful to know about the company and about the challenges that we're facing. So.
Perfect.